Honey, where are you?
Well, I'm checking out the chicks here at Rule King, Sweet Pea.
Excuse me? You want to run that by me again?
Well, I got so many cute chicks here to choose from.
Sir, do you want that now or when you're done shopping?
Oh, where's my coat?
Friends, Rule King has everything you need to raise chickens at the lowest prices, guaranteed. Oh, honey bun, I'm sorry. I just got so excited about the Rule King Chick Days.
Well, don't forget the chicken feed.
Thank you for riding with the Watchdog. Live and local. Just the way you like it.
Live and local conversation for the Ohio Valley continues shortly. Here on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them, just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Menards is your complete bathroom remodeling headquarters. Come in and check out our great selection of over 50 Magic Woods vanities. Magic Woods offers a combination of quality construction and styles ranging from traditional to contemporary that are sure to match your lifestyle. Best of all Magic Woods bathroom vanities are 11% off. Good through March 6th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Battery power made by steel. From trimmers and mowers to chainsaws and blowers, steel battery tools are exactly what you need to tackle your to-do list. Whether you need to maintain your yard or completely transform your landscape. Shop online for the Steel AK Homeowner Series starting at just $199.99. Pick up at over 10,000 local steel dealers. Real steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com.
The 2021 Honda Pioneer lineup is here to make light work of the job and add a heavy dose of fun to your day off. Every Pioneer side-by-side is stock full of smart technology, responsive power, and Honda's hallmark of engineering excellence. The only thing left to add is you. Then you'll understand how life is better on a Honda. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet and eye protection, always wear your seatbelt, and keep the side nets and doors closed. Pioneers are for drivers 16 years and older.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your Thursday. Look for partly sunny skies. Daytime high near 40 degrees. Clear, cool, overnight temperatures down to about 20 degrees for the low. You'll see plenty of sunshine around for your Friday with highs in the lower 40s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
In the year 1898, Mark Cooley sent his first radio message across the English Channel.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let's have a tune. I'm sick of this silence.
There's nothing wrong with being fun and popular and just giving people what they want.
This is not radio fantasy camp. We're on the air here.
You seem happy this morning.
Is it Friday already? Friday.
All I'm doing is getting on the air. The revolution will be broadcast.
Hello, Friday.
What's this?
Did you ever hear of a thing called radio?
Thank God! Wow!
It's show time.
This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe and Brad Leonard behind the board in the producer's chair.
Yikes and double yikes. I just grabbed the first shirt I could find this morning. I don't really worry about dressing myself overly special or anything today, so I got a short sleeve shirt on, not a big deal. So I looked at the temperature, 18 degrees outside. 18 degrees with a little bit of wind blowing around, about 7 mile an hour wind. It feels like 9. You don't even need, you don't even need 2 full hands to give you the feels like temperature. What happened to spring? Biff, where did spring go? I thought spring, aren't we in spring? Didn't spring come?
Yeah, it took a little bit of a break for now.
Brief break, I guess, yeah.
Yes.
It is supposedly going to be a sunny day, so that's good, but it's, 18. I thought we were past the 18-degree temperatures. All right, well, that means wherever you're going, if you're going in the early morning hours, you want to be sure and bundle up a little bit. But it will be sunny later in the day. Our daytime high should get up to around 40, so we've got that to look forward to. 7-Eleven, good morning, y'all. Welcome to the show. We have made it to and hopefully we'll make it through a Friday edition of the show. Got a busy one for you. Got a lot of things to get into today. Give you a table of contents here in a couple of minutes. Probably one of the more interesting stories that we've talked about all week long, Biff, was the Dr. Seuss story, which I guess was a Monday story. It broke on Monday. The organization that protects the legacy of Dr. Seuss, it is the Dr. Seuss Legacy Foundation, decided to no longer market 6 of the Dr. Seuss books that they deemed to be particularly racist and particularly offensive. And so they took 6 of them out. They were ones that I wasn't even familiar with. Of the 6, none of them had I ever read. But it did start a big hoop-de-doo. It sounds like the cancel culture. It sounds like political correctness. And so a lot of folks got upset. I told you earlier in the week that because of the pulling of those 6 books off the marketplace, sales of those 6 books, the ones that are not going to be marketed anymore, just went up dramatically on eBay. If I Ran the Zoo is one of them, and it's last week it was selling on eBay for $5-10. This week, $500. Well, supply and demand. There won't be as big a supply in the near future. But the other side of that coin is sales of all Dr. Seuss books have gone up. Sales for popular Dr. Seuss titles have soared on both Amazon and Barnes & Noble. So it put Dr. Seuss back in the spotlight, and people went out and bought more Dr. Seuss books. And I didn't buy any more because I think I got just about the whole collection here for myself and then for my kids and for Teddy. But it got me heading off to Teddy's library to pull some of the old Dr. Seuss books out and to look at them and to read them again. So the eBay sales of the books being pulled went up, or the prices went up. But in general, sales of Dr. Seuss books, the phrase I'm looking here in this article is soared. They have soared on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Now, let's be clear, it is traditional. This particular week is National Read Aloud Week, and it's always been sort of tied to Dr. Seuss, and which, by the way, is why my wife and I were driving to pick up Teddy one day this week, a couple of days ago, and we were driving down a street in Woodsdale, and I just noticed in an SUV that was coming the other way, there was some woman with a Cat in the Hat on. What in the world? She's driving around with a Cat in the Hat on. But then I remembered it was Read Aloud Week, and that probably was Read Aloud Day. And a lot of schools focus on Dr. Seuss, and they do silly Seussio things. So she probably was either a teacher or a parent who had gone to because I thought, should I call it? There's a crazy lady driving around with this Cat in the hat on. But I think maybe that's the reason why. And then, Biffy, because everything has to become political, right?
Yes, it does.
No matter what it is, it's got to turn into politics. The National Republican Party is fundraising over this. The campaign arm of congressional Republicans, in one of their more recent fundraising newsletters or emails that came out this week, is asking for donations. And if you send them a donation of $25 or more, they will send you a copy of the Cat in the Hat. And the thrust of the email, of course, is the liberals are the cancel culture people. The Democrats, now they're taking Dr. Seuss away from us. Don't let them steal Seuss. Give us money, we'll keep Seuss in the world, and we'll send you one too. Everything's got to be political. What these folks don't remember or realize is it is not the Democrats. It is not the liberals. It's not some group of cancel culture people. It's the Seuss. It's not really the family per se, but it is the organization that is created to protect the legacy of Dr. Seuss. It is essentially Dr. Seuss's legacy foundation that doesn't want these 6 books out there. It's not some great liberal conspiracy. Seuss Enterprise, Dr. Seuss Enterprises, it is the business that preserves and protects the author's legacy, made the decision to do this. Seuss's stepdaughter this week said there wasn't a racist bone in Ted's body. Ted being Theodore Geisel, the real name for Dr. Seuss. There wasn't a racist bone in Ted's body. But, she said, in this day and age, the Seuss Enterprises folks felt it was best to just get the books that showed some racial imagery off the marketplace. She says, the stepdaughter says, he was acutely aware of the world around him. He cared so much. The world right now is in pain, and we'll get to try we've all got to try to be very gentle and thoroughly kind with each other. But it's not a liberal plot. It is a business, really a business decision made by the people protecting Dr. Seuss's legacy. So let's see. If you have if you have a copy of the 6 books that have been pulled, you can put them on eBay and make money. If you want to go out and support Dr. Seuss, go buy a couple of new Seusso books, because that's being done and the sales are going up. And I guess if you want to help fundraise for the Republican Party, do it off of their Seuss email, and you'll send them $25. They'll get the money, and you'll get a Seuss book. That story started on Monday, right? I think it was Monday.
It's not Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, it was earlier in the week, so let's call it Monday. Today's Friday. We've gotten a week out of it. Story probably is just about dead now. That's the way these things go. Get about 5 days. Next week we'll have something else that we're going to get into. Biffy, this story I want to talk to you in particular about. A new study has, by the way, it's 18 after 7 o'clock in the morning here on the Watchdog Morning Show, with 18 degrees. Yeah, and it feels like temperature of 9. There's a new study looking into the tweets that sports fans put out. Okay? These are tweets by sports fan.
Okay.
And what they did was kind of rank them by the emotions that were involved. And what sports fans do you think send out the angriest tweets? Which sports fans of which sport are the angriest of all sports fans?
Football.
I gave you a clue. You might have football. That my clue would have led you to football, maybe. Nope, something that you're even closer connected to than football.
Basketball.
Nope, something that you personally are easier or closer connected to.
Hockey.
Something that you personally do every Thursday when the weather is good.
Golf.
Can you believe that?
No.
Angriest tweet. That's the strangest thing in the world?
Not at all.
I mean, when you watch golf, even the announcers are very quiet and talk quietly. There's nobody who ever sounds man. But according to this, they looked at the tweets. The angriest tweets, or the angriest sports fans who tweet, are golf fans. I don't understand that. Number 2 is soccer fans.
Wouldn't have guessed that.
Major League Baseball. I wouldn't have guessed it, maybe, but that okay.
I think. I think with baseball, it's more the umpires.
That's exactly what I was going to say, too. When I think of angry baseball, it's throw the umps out. Yeah, I got you.
Calling balls and strikes and close calls. Yeah, I could see why for baseball.
You mentioned the number 4, which is football, the NFL. NFL fans are among the angriest. 21% of the angry tweets come from NFL fans. What's interesting is on the lower end of the scale, this is strange. Golf is such a genteel sport. I don't know what it's like on Thursday nights in your group, Biff, but in general.
Depends on how I'm playing.
It's a genteel sport. It's a quiet sport. I just never think of golf fans as getting overly angry. On the flip side of it, one of the lowest number of angry tweets came from boxing fans. And I would think they might get a boxing punch, the anger builds up, stress. Well, I would think they would be among the angriest. No.
I'll tell you why
They're among the least angry.
I'll tell you why I think boxing is near the least, because one, not too many people I think are watching boxing. Two, I don't think if you ask 10 people, they couldn't tell you right now who the champion in any boxing division is. And
that's true. Yeah.
And three, if you're trying to appeal to the younger audience, they're watching UFC, they're martial arts, they're the other types of fighting. So boxing is kind of, I mean, it's still there, but you just don't recognize it as much as you did back then.
That's a great, yes, you're absolutely right. And you're right too about, I think the younger folks aren't as much into boxing as they are into the UFC stuff. Yeah, that's absolutely true. When I was a kid, my dad and I used to watch the fight. Was it Friday night, Saturday night fights? They always had the fights on Friday night, Saturday. I can't remember. I mean, we used to watch those together, and I was kind of into it. But honestly, I don't know that I've ever really paid attention to boxing since the days of, I mean, Muhammad Ali, of course, that's a long time ago.
Holyfield, maybe?
Yeah, Holyfield, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's just been a long time since I couldn't tell anybody who's on a boxing card now. I wouldn't know it if you said that. I want you to tell me. I'm going to give you two names. They're going to go in a sports match against each other. Who are what sport is it? And you gave me two boxers. I wouldn't know what they were doing. I mean, I don't pay attention at all anymore. But so maybe you're right. Maybe the reason that they send out some of the least angry tweets is nobody cares anymore. By the way, the clear to bottom of the non-angry tweet, the kind tweets, the gentle tweets, clear to bottom in terms of sports, cricket.
Cricket.
Cricket fans, followed closely, or they're right next to the end. Cricket's are the last one on my list. Ready for that? Tennis fans. Those are the least angry. But when I saw this, and I thought of you right away, Biffy. The angriest tweets come from golfers. I just found that to be fascinating.
I guess if you're watching on TV and, depending on what time it is and who's playing, if it's a golfer that you don't like, then maybe that's it. But I don't know. That's surprising to me.
I must not be following the right people on my Twitter feed because I don't think I've ever seen an angry golf tweet. Now I see lots of angry NFL tweets.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah, I see a lot of that, and I see a good many angry MLB tweets, baseball tweets on my feed. I don't think I've ever in my life seen an angry tweet about golf. So I must be following the wrong people, I guess. All right, coming up, the big story of the day we're going to spend some time on is Governor Justice. JJ has unveiled the details of his income tax reduction plan. Sort of. We will talk about it coming up next here on the Watchdog Morning Show at 7:25, 25 after the hour, looking at 18 degrees. Yes, I said 18 degrees. You're just getting up and haven't checked outside yet. You're going to want to bundle up this morning. I'll have an extra cup of warm coffee like I'm having right now. 18 degrees with a feels like temperature of 9. 7:25. We are the Watchdog Morning Show.
This guy knows so much about sports. They base this.
a division of Wheeling Hospital. The Woodsdale Health Center is led by family physician Dr. Michael Wilson. Call 304-234-1971. They'll take good care of you.
Brookside, the watchdog is protecting your yard. Join Howard Monroe, Hoppy Kercheval, Bill DeFabio, and Big Rick for the best live and local talk in the Upper Ohio Valley and beyond. Brookside trusts the watchdog.
He rambles, he rants, and sometimes he sings. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
As I predicted to you yesterday morning on this show, Governor Justice used Hoppy Kercheval's show yesterday to announce the details of his income tax reduction plan. A plan that he has sort of outlined in very broad strokes at the State of the State speech, and that he then a couple of times has had, quote, town hall meetings on to try to elaborate a bit more. Each of those town hall meetings, it sounded as if he was coming up with new ideas right when he was talking about them. And we kept waiting and waiting to see a copy of the bill. And by the way, I have not checked this morning, but as of yesterday, last night, there still was no bill introduced. And the governor and his tax revenue secretary, Dave Hardy, said yesterday, well, we're still working on the language. So we still don't have a bill. But at least now we have what they believe are the concrete details. And I want to run by them just very briefly here. We'll talk about them more in depth a little bit later on. First of all, the governor is proposing a 60% income tax cut. 60%. That is higher than he had originally said before. So that's $1 billion that he wants to eliminate from our revenue side of our budget. $1 billion plus has to go away. And by the way, he wants to eliminate the income tax over the next several years, probably 3 years, he's saying. So, number one, a bigger cut than expected, which, again, everybody wants to see their income taxes cut, so I guess that sounds good. But we got to make up the $1 billion somehow, some way. So, how are we going to do that? Well, the biggest way he's going to do that is raising the sales tax. Now, this is not a big secret. We knew that was going to happen. Remember, the governor had in the beginning said, I'm going to raise the tax about 1.5%. And then during one of his town hall meetings, he said, I'm going to raise the tax 1.5 to 1.9%. Well, I guess the higher number sounded good to him. So he is now he's proposing raising our sales tax by an additional 1.9%. Which the governor says is not that big a deal. Keep in mind, the governor says businesses won't pass that along to consumers. They'll just eat it. I don't know what world he lives in. Well, I do know what world he lives in. He lives in the Greenbrier. But anyways, that ain't going to happen. So it's going to be additional tax to you and to me of 1.9%. And then you look at places like Wheeling, like Moundsville, many other municipalities around the state of West Virginia who have added their own income tax, additional income tax, one of the handful of taxes that cities can add to try to generate revenue. And now you've got in the city of Wheeling, for example, in Moundsville, add an additional 1%. So we're at 6.5, add 1.9, or we're at 6, I guess it is, add 1.9, and then add the additional 1% for the city. We are at 8.9% sales tax in Wheeling. I mean, that's, and it becomes, and we'll talk about this with Kelly Allen from the Center of Budget and Policy on the next hour of the show. It makes West Virginia the highest sales tax in the country. Now, supposedly hundreds of thousands of people are going to come flocking into the state because we have no income tax. But is anybody going to tell them that we have the country's highest income, highest sales tax?
And think about what that's going to do for people that live in Ohio County. They're going to go.
Sure. They're
going to go across the river into Ohio and start buying stuff over there because it'll be cheaper.
I mean, he is not stupid. No matter what fun I make of him from time to time, no matter his folksy attitude, he is not stupid. Does he not understand? Those of us in this panhandle, for example, We travel across the river every single day anyway. It's not like we have to go 2 hours to get to another state with a lower tax rate. I mean,
I could walk to Ohio from here.
That's exactly right.
I could walk.
We go to Melman's to eat all the time. Go to the mall. That trip is no big deal for us, but we're going to be motivated to buy more things over there because now in Wheeling, in the city, we're going to be 8.9% sales tax.
You could do it all in one trip. Think about that. You could eat at Melman's, go to a mall, and then go find a store and get your shopping done all in one trip.
Yeah. And I know he's not done. He has to understand that. And the problem is, this whole concept is, the premise on which it is based is absolutely, totally, completely wrong. When this is brought up to the governor, and has been several times at his town hall meetings, the governor says, why, don't you worry, you'll have to pay a little more in sales tax, I know that, but don't you worry, all those people from the other state are going to want to come flocking in because we have no income tax. But that's go to Disney World if you want to live in a fantasy land. 400,000 people, that's the number that Craig Blair used once, hundreds of thousands, everybody's saying, the supporters of this are saying, hundreds of thousands of people are not moving into West Virginia because we don't have an income tax. Wow, they look at how they all go to Florida. It's got beaches and sand.
And nice weather.
And golf courses.
Yes.
And lots of margaritas. So I've been told. Yes.
Now we're talking.
People don't go to Florida because of the income tax. They may like the fact that there's no income tax. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not a factor. But they go to Florida because of all those things we just mentioned. Alaska has no income tax. Their population decreasing. Why? Because who wants to go to Alaska? It is literally a great place to visit. I spent 2 weeks there a couple of years ago. It's a great place to visit. Who wants to live there?
Eskimos and ice fishermen.
That's right. Or serial criminals on the lam, because it's easy to get lost in Alaska. So we're going to have the highest sales tax in the country. The highest in the country. I think it is interesting. It's not gotten a lot of attention. Hoppy brought this up yesterday, and I think I give him credit for this. There are several classes of people and businesses that will not see their income tax cut. Schedule C business profits will not see their income tax cut. Schedule C is essentially small businesses. So he's going to stick it to small businesses. We, the individual people, will have our taxes cut. But small businesses, you go ahead and keep on paying it. Capital gains taxes will stay where they are. Farm income, taxable interest income, if you get interest on things, no reduction in taxes there. Dividend income and so on. The other thing that he brought up, which he had speculated about in one of his town hall meetings, and apparently now it is part of his plan, is going to be a tax rebate for those people under $35,000 a year who will not be paying income tax or not paying much income tax. They'll get a tax rebate of a certain dollar figure. I don't have it in front of me. I forget what it is. Well, that's an additional cost. That's on top of so we're going to lose $1 billion, right? Then we're going to lose more because we're going to actually send out checks to these people, which is fine. I think we should support the lower income folks. But it's additional cost to the state. Cigarette tax going to go to $2.25 per pack. Let's see. Wine tax up to $4 a gallon. Beer barrel tax to $29.25 per barrel. Liquor wholesale markup to 40%. Soft drinks taxes, well, there's several different ways he's raising it, but he's going to raise $62 million by increasing the soft drink tax. And then he's, of course, going to change the coal severance tax. And it's a really complicated, he's got a huge chart on this coal severance tax. but it's going to be a sliding scale. They will pay more. The coal industry will pay more when their profits are up and less when their profits is down, which makes it hard to figure out. So, he's going to increase taxes to the tune of $900 million. We're going to see a reduction in the income tax of $1.035 billion, and we had an additional $52 million for the rebate taxes, which means there's a huge gap between the increases and the reductions, which means cuts have to come. And we don't know where they're going to be yet. And by the way, the governor also, he still just can't give him a bill to work on. He also has a page here on his proposal, options to consider. And he has some other proposed reductions. These are not in his proposal, but maybe we should think about this, he says. We are going down a road that will, in 5, 6, 7 years. And by the way, it also doesn't look at the out-year budgets. It doesn't take into account, when you do a fiscal budget, especially for state, Biffy, you look out and see what's it going to do, not just this year, next year, but 5, 6, 10 years. How's it going to impact? They didn't do that. But I'm going to tell you, the state will be in worse shape than it is, and that's hard to believe if this is implemented. Now, as of last night, there still was not a bill introduced, but he said it's being written and it'll be in today, I guess. I don't know. And I have not heard or seen much in the way of reaction from senators or delegates, so I don't know what the reaction is going to be. I don't think that the governor's proposal, as he has it, is just going to be accepted tooth and nail. I think that there's going to be a lot of debate and controversy over it, and I'm not sure it's even going to pass. But we shall see. Kelly Allen from the West Virginia Center on Budget and Policy, that's what they do, is they look at these numbers upside down, inside out, and all the way around. They actually look at numbers as opposed to blue sky them that the governor's doing. And we'll have Kelly with us coming up next hour to react to the governor's proposals. All right, 7:40, till the hour. We've got Zach standing by. He's coming in next. But first, we're going to check some Ohio Valley headlines for you. And Billy's here as well.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's time for your local news headlines from 7 News at WTRF, My Ohio Valley, and ABC Ohio Valley. Only on AM 1600 WKKX, the Watchdog.
Good Friday morning, Ohio Valley. I'm Stephen Ruffing with your...
Giroux scored 2 of the 4 goals for the Flyers. Guess what? These two teams meet again in Pittsburgh Saturday afternoon. Well, Ben Roethlisberger will return this fall to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He'll enter season number 18. He'll earn about $14 million this season. The deal will add 4 avoidable years to spread out the dead money. College basketball. How about number 6 West Virginia at home beat TCU by the score of 76-67. The Mountaineers improved to 18-7. Exhibition baseball. In a 7-inning contest, the Pirates 6, the Braves 1. The Pirates 2-2 play the Philadelphia Phillies this afternoon in sunny Florida. Well, in the sports collectible department this morning, a Tom Brady rookie card sold for $1.32 million. Once again, that's a lot of money for a piece of cardboard. By the way, it's probably the highest paid price for a football card. Be safe out there. Be considerate of others. Check on the elderly. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are the Watchdog.
The Storm Tracker 7 team is here to warn you when winter weather will affect your day.
And as we go through the overnight after our coating of snow, we'll wake up tomorrow morning with a few snow flurries.
We are also here to help you make the most of the season. Is it a good day to build a snowman? Should you take the kids sledding? Check out our app before you head out the door.
We're going to bottom out to temperatures in the upper 20s.
With meteorologists Dr. Dave Walker, Zach Petty, and me, Aaron Myler, we've got weather coverage you can count on. 7 News, working for you.
Listen to the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe. Weekday mornings 7 to 10 a.m. Only on the Watchdog. Live and local talk radio just the way you like it.
Miss a part of the show? Want to hear a segment again? Check out our podcast page at watchdognetwork.com. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
Well, you know, they say what a difference a week can make. We started out on Monday celebrating meteorological spring, but I got to tell you, there's nothing spring-like about what it's like outside this morning, Zach Petty. Where did this come from?
Just that cold air, clear skies, radiational cooling, allowing temperatures to essentially polar plunge, and cold Canadian air coming in from Ontario. That's why.
18 degrees at the airport with a feels like temperature of 9. 9. We don't even need 2 hands to do our feels like temperature right now. A guy named Four Fingers could do that.
It's cold. It's frosty cold out there, I tell you what.
You know, I should have paid more attention, I guess. So I got up this morning and reached in the cupboard. The first thing I found was a short-sleeved polo shirt. So I put my short-sleeved shirt on just because I was there. And I sat down and started doing my work. 18 degrees, man. I'm going to have to either change the shirt or put on my Mr. Rogers sweater during the day today, at least for a while, because it's going to warm up, though, right?
Yeah, we'll warm up, but again, we're not going to expect to have anything record-breaking, nor anything that you and I probably consider as warm. We'll be flirting with 40 degrees once again today, and again, similar conditions expected into your weekend. We'll be that upper 30s, low 40 range, as we're still under the influence of northwesterly flow. I mean, at least we're not into Ontario, Canada, Howard, where Moosonee has a current temperature of 3, and Thunder Bay, Ontario, they're a couple degrees warmer. It's 7 over into Ontario. So that's where that cold air is coming from.
You just like to say that, don't you? Moosonee. Moosonee. I think that's kind of fun to say. At least I've heard of Moosonee. Moosonee.
Yeah. There's another one.
3 degrees in Moosonee.
There's another one up on our Great Lakes temperature map, but it has a bunch of hyphens and commas and asterisks, and I ain't even trying to pronounce that one. It's like Valdor or Valdeort, or that's the best that I'll do.
That's where you just point to the green screen. That's where you point to the green screen and go, right here. That's right here. The temperature is. You don't say the name of it at all. Just. Right here.
Yep. No, I got you.
And we're not going to warm up much over the next couple of days either, right? We will warm up at the beginning of next week, but next couple of days staying pretty much the same.
Yeah, essentially a cookie cutter forecast. I think Steven said it best. It's been a relatively easy week for us Mets in the Ohio Valley, which, I mean, it's about time. I mean, that winter, especially that week where we had the snow, freezing rain, clouds, and rain, and it literally felt like we had all precipitations type in a span of 12 hours. I mean, it's nice to have a cookie cutter forecast, we'll call it that, because similar conditions for today, tomorrow, and into Sunday. Mostly sunny skies, chilly mornings as overnight lows approach the upper teens, if not low 20s, and just the sunshine only allowing us to warm up to that 40-degree mark. But it'll get better. We just have to get through 3 more days of chilliness, and then we'll start to be able to use that warmth getting back into the Ohio Valley next Monday.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to be 50s and maybe pushing 60 by the tail end of the week, or at least the middle of the week next week.
Yeah, that confidence continues to go. I know we talked a little bit about it last, I guess, already on Monday, Tuesday, where, we're still looking a little far out into the future for me to really have confidence, but I'm getting confident. However, we're looking to look we're looking to look rather nice. I'll tell you that. Porky the Pig style talk right there.
Looking to look really nice. All right, so sounds again. It's a terribly cold morning. People need to understand that 18 degrees feels like 9. Definitely bundle up if you're out and about. And this morning it will warm up enough to be, I guess, close to seasonable, around 40 for the day. And we will see sunshine today too, right?
Oh yeah, we'll say wall-to-wall sunshine all the way extending into maybe Monday, if not including Tuesday, maybe just a couple more clouds by Monday. But again, that sun will certainly be staying up in the skies the next couple of days.
All right, so today and into the weekend, it's going to be cool, then start to really warm up nicely next week. So next week, it looks like maybe next week. Maybe we should call next week the beginning of spring instead of this week, you know?
Yeah, the beginning of meteorological spring, you mean?
Right. And we're about 14 days away? 14 days away from astronomical spring?
Yep, 14 and some odd days away, yes.
All right, there's a countdown clock at the Big Seven's website, I know. We can keep when spring is coming. and I certainly am. I certainly am. I was standing and looking out on my deck yesterday and thinking, man, I can hardly wait till I can get the deck furniture up and clean off the deck and, start sitting outside again. A little too cold for that right now, but
yeah, that's what I was thinking about showing the. Oh, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I was thinking about showing the porch cast today, the porch forecast, but I was like, it looks beautiful. I mean, again, a gorgeous looking morning looking across the 8-box traffic cams of Ohio County, but it's frigid. So at what point does that defeat the purpose of showing the porch forecast if you can't get out and enjoy it without having to break out the winter suit and parkas?
Yeah. You see, when I think of sitting on my deck, I do not think of sitting here right in my mittens and with my hoodie pulled up around my ears and my you're right. Let's not do the porch cast, not just yet. But I'm getting ready. I'm looking forward to being able to get out again. Spring being here. I've had my vaccine. I'm still not close to being ready to go into a restaurant, but I'm thinking maybe come springtime, I'll go do some of the outdoor places, for first time in a year, having lunch with different people. So I'm looking forward to that. So hopefully it'll all work out. But again, a cool weekend, nice warm week next week. Some clouds rolling in. Is there rain involved in the tail end of the week on your 7-day, or is it just going to be cloudy?
Yeah, maybe a stray shower or two late Wednesday into Thursday, but that's where the models are kind of more so in disagreement, because we're going to have some impressive upper level warming allowing our temperatures to climb to that 60-degree range. And typically when that happens, again, long story short, you're pretty dry. So it's going to be hard to really see any precip. But I just put it in to talk to make it a little more eye-catching instead of it just being cloudy and then all of a sudden, why is it raining, Zach? Oh, just because meteorologists, you're only right 50% of the time. That's right.
that's the reason why.
Yeah.
It's a Friday. Any big plans? I always ask you, any plans for the weekend?
Any plans? I'm heading home to help my dad cut up some wood and possibly get another suit.
Oh, another suit.
Yeah, I think I'm going with
go with it.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely probably get another tie. I'm thinking to go light gray, almost like a silver. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh. All right. Well, when you wear it, we'll analyze it and give you our opinion of it.
All right, I'll give you a heads up so you can watch.
Okay. All right. Zach, have yourself a good weekend. Travel safe back home, and I will talk to you again on Monday.
All right. Have a good weekend, Howard. You too, Biff.
Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you later. Zach Petty from the Big 7, WTRF TV, morning meteorologist. You know, talking about going out to eat, and you know, I'm looking forward so much to going out with friends again, Biffy, and I'm still very antsy about going out to sitting in a restaurant. I'm just not ready to do that, but I'm thinking when the weather is good, not yet, I'm not at 18 degrees, but when the weather is good, it's warmer, I'm going to probably try and head out to a couple of outdoor places and at least have lunch with folks outdoors. But you know that damn McCabe, you know what he did to me last night?
Oh, what'd he do?
You know, he's always jabbing me. John McCabe, he's always jabbing me. He's always sending me texts during the show and saying, well, that was a silly question you ask, or, oh, you got one of your crazy guests on, or, you know, he's just always giving me a little poke, right? That's his way. So last night, I'm actually on a Zoom meeting doing some church work, and I see a text, and it's, you know, John McCabe has sent an attachment. Wonder what it is. Maybe it's some breaking news. He was up at Charlie's place, up at the West. and he had a Kentucky hot brown. And he just sent me a picture of his Kentucky hot brown. He said, oh, I thought you might like to look at this. I don't want to look at it, I want to eat it.
I think that's what he was doing. He was trying to get you to say, hey, come up here and eat.
Well, they've got some good outdoor locations there at the West and at Stratford, so I'm going to maybe have to do that sometime. Man, I just kept looking at that. I haven't had a Kentucky hot brown clearly for a year, and it looks so good. I have to give that a try. So, but I know he just did it to irritate me. That's the way McCabe is. He just did it to irritate me. I mean, he didn't say this, but I heard ha 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 in the background. That's what I heard. John McCabe coming up later on this morning with us here on the Watchdog Morning Show. What are we doing today? Haven't really run down things. Of course, it is a Friday, so a regular Friday roundtable with McCabe and I checking out some of the Ohio Valley News Week in reviews. The pandemic has increased a lot of people's housing problems, overdue mortgages, eviction notices going out, and so on. There's a group called NeighborWorks America. They're warning about housing scams. We'll talk to one of their senior vice presidents, Leanne Adams, today about housing scams and some of the ones that are very prevalent going around the country. Governor Justice finally fleshed out his income tax reduction plan. We'll talk to Kelly Allen, the executive director of the Center for Budget and Policy, coming up in the next hour of the program. And there's a Jackson County, West Virginia sheriff who has changed his party registration because of the police reform bill passed by the National Democrats. And I want to take some time to talk about that. Plus, Watchdog Madness contest, mask mandates, some of the latest from the legislature in West Virginia as well. So that's a look at what we've got coming up for you here this morning on the Watchdog Morning Show. If you have something on your mind, you can text me, 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600. The text line is always open and ready for you to use. You know, if you're going to be watching sports this weekend, no matter what it might be, maybe you're part of the angry crowd that likes golf, or you're looking forward to watching some basketball or what have you. Maybe you're even going to go down to the MEC here in Wheeling, or at least listen to some of the games here on the Watchdog. If you want to add some excitement to your sports watching, do some betting on the games on FanDuel. You know, there's a reason why FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. Their app is simple to use. They've got great odds on all different betting markets, unique, fun-type bets like the same-game parlays. We've talked about those before. Exclusive, always-on promotions like enhanced odds on the biggest events to let you get more action out of every game. And if you win, they get your money to you as quickly as they possibly can, as little as 24 hours. And getting your money, after all, is kind of what it's all about. So it's easy to use, easy to withdraw, all kinds of odds boost specials, ways to increase your amount of winning, and some chances to win big with deals like the same game parlay. If right now, as in addition to all of that, FanDuel is letting you place your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. You can bet on any game in any sport they have, and FanDuel will refund you up to $1,000 back in site credit if you don't win your first bet. Just place any bet you want. NBA, college basketball, tennis, golf, you name it. If you win, it's good. You keep the cash and life goes on and you're happy and they're happy and everyone's pleased. But if you lose for your first bet, you'll get your entire bet up to $1,000 back in site credit. So if you never tried FanDuel, this is the time to do it. Download the FanDuel Sports app. Use my name, Monroe, in the promo code BOX. Must be 21 or older and present in West Virginia or Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. Site credit is non-withdrawable. Expires in 14 days. Restrictions do apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. If you have a gambling problem, www.1800gambler.net. 8 o'clock, ABC covers the world now, and then we'll talk to Kelly Allen from the Center on Budget and Policy coming up next as the Watchdog Morning Show continues.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Coronavirus vaccine rollout.
Kelly Allen, excuse me. Kelly Allen in this next segment, I think. And then at 8:40, we've got the Neighbor Works people. That's a 10-minute one.